Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I guess it's been about 6 months since I last made a video. Somehow I still got about 100 followers, and that's pretty interesting. So thanks everybody for tuning in and seeing what I've been up to. So got a lot for you coming up here shortly, but I wanted to bring it back with this truck. It's here behind me. This is a 1999 Discovery 2. I bought it back in April, non-running. So I'll give you a little background on the car. When I went to go visit the dealer, they said that it wouldn't start. Well, they didn't list it as not starting, but when I got there, they said it wouldn't start. They listed it with a bad front differential, and that was it. They didn't diagnose it. This is a place where they, one of those places you see offering, we'll buy your junk cars, we'll come and tow them away. So that was the type of dealer. They had it listed at like $2,400, I think, which was pretty steep considering basically it was an unknown. But looking at everything that it had, even when I got there and when it wouldn't start, it still seemed like it was a great deal. So I negotiated it down, got it down to about $1,500 plus tax. So my all-in was not very high. So even when it wouldn't turn over, they put a jump box on it, nothing. I still thought that I'd be able to get a pretty good deal, even if I ended up having to part it out. But the goal was to save it. So that's what I ended up trying to do. So as you can see, it's got some good off-road bits on it. You saw the steel front bumper. It's got some 285, 75-inch, 16-inch tires on it. So I guess about a 33-inch tire or so. It has an ARB lift, 2-inch lift. You can see the yellow shocks back there. Relatively new. So I haven't washed this thing, I haven't cleaned it, I haven't done anything to make it look nice. And you can see this thing was well taken care of. Got a little wear there, but you know, the dash isn't warping. Radio doesn't work, but which ones do? I did replace the shift boot and the parking brake boot, because those were all trashed like they all are. But even the headliner's in nice shape. The previous owner had converted all the lights to LEDs. Seats are in good shape. Rear seats are in good shape. I usually have kid seats back there. But I wanted to make this, take this and make it a budget off-roader slash potential overland build. And that is the path that I've gone down. So when I got it, it didn't have a rear bumper. Obviously those all break. And the lights, those little yellow and red lights, had melted, at least the one over the exhaust did. So I bought that steel bumper, threw it on, threw on the ladder, and I have a safety devices roof rack for it, a real safety devices roof rack, but I haven't put it on. The header in my garage is not tall enough. So if I try to put it on and then pull the truck in, it wouldn't go in. I'd break something badly. The tires are a little bit old. That one looks nearly new, and the date stamp on it is from about 10 years ago. Those, I can't even find the old style date stamp, but they have great tread. The sidewalls are clean. There's no dry rotting or anything. I don't have any issues with them. I've put several hundred miles on this truck and not had a single problem. Well, not since I got it running. When I bought it, I called Sports Car Workshops and gave them about 15 minutes heads up that the truck was on its way. So that wasn't really cool of me, but sometimes that's just how things go. So the truck had to sit for a little bit to wait its turn to get in line and get looked at, but turned out the condition keeping it from starting was like 30 blown fuses and a crank position sensor. So that got taken care of. Truck hadn't run in 3 years. It had a 2018 state inspection on it, so that inspection was at least 4 years old, so we thought that was probably the last time that it was on the road. But it needed a few things. The hood release didn't work. The like every light on the dash was on. I'll throw a picture of that up here now so you can see. I don't think I missed any lights on that. So it had the 3 amigos, it had the trans temperature sensor light, it had what else? Check engine light. But I mean, you're thinking, okay, you bought a non-running off-roaded D2, it's got to be trashed, right? Well, the interior is nice, but look underneath here too. I mean, it's just super clean. So is the rear of it. Look at that. The title on this thing was from Michigan, and I believe it was a one-owner car because it was issued in early 2000. But you would think this thing had never been off-road. Well, never been on a salty road. So of course this thing had the 3 amigos. I've replaced the front right ABS sensor, and that resolved that issue. Let's see. It does have a check engine light, and that is for, see, they all work. Check engine light is for the IAT. So I'm going to get a new map on the way. I'm sure you can hear it. It's got a little bit of a exhaust leak or vacuum leak. Oh yeah, alternator was dead. That's brand new. That was P38, so a slight upgrade. Rear windows wouldn't work. And the whole thing was just, after sitting for years, it's just kind of in shambles. But it runs great now. Recently put about 200 miles a day on it. Had 0 issues whatsoever. Get it in here and shut it off. So the only little remaining issues are the MAF and the sunroofs are leaking, so that's kind of a bigger job. But it's really only the rear right now that's leaking. Just the footwell just puddles up with water. It's been a great truck, and I think a lot of the scratches and stuff would actually clean up. I was immediately interested when I saw it because of these stickers. You see it? It has an old school Rover Owners Association of Virginia sticker, which I'm a part of. Go to their events. So the previous owner was a member. At least had gone to one event. And then this independent 4X, that is a long-time 4x4 shop here in the Richmond area. I've not gone to them, but I mean, they're just kind of legendary here. So that told me the truck was taken care of. So I picked it up, and I'm looking forward to doing an event, but this was never meant to be a long-term part of the collection. I like saving Rovers. The place that I bought it from, if nobody buys them, they send them to the junkyard, to the pick and pull. So I was happy to save this one and at least try to give it some new life. And so let me know what you think. You know, I was never a huge fan of the Discoveries, but this has really changed my mind. This is really the one to have. It's the 4 liter, so it doesn't have the issues of the 4.6. It's had a good ownership history. It's been well maintained. It did sit for a little bit, and it's been used, but not abused. So if you're going to get into one, find one like this. Eventually it'll be up for sale. I've got a friend that is very interested, so he may pick it up before it goes to market, but that doesn't mean I won't keep looking for ones like this. They do turn up pretty frequently around here, but this one was just too good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I never would have guessed when I started making these videos a few months ago that I'd have anybody interested, much less have 100 subscribers. You'll see that is not my E36. That is actually Addicted Motors E36. He let me borrow that while my LR3 is in the shop. I'll give you an update on that as soon as it gets home. You also saw his video on the L322 supercharged that I purchased. I'm going to do a video on that as well, a little more in depth. And a quick update on the series. It's getting its transmission rebuilt, and I got some really bad news on that recently. Basically, the whole internals on the transmission are not usable. So we're going to figure out what the next step is. Some more good Rover stuff coming up here soon. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that stuff.